In this video, we're going to go over a tip in regards to our team members in the office and also virtual assistants, I suppose. You guys are going to be really the most relevant to this particular video, in which we're going to cover the order of priority of the information that you should be collecting or attempting to collect to prepare a window cleaning quote as accurately as possible, is the short of it. Okay, so as we scroll down here, these are in descending level of priority. Okay, these are for both 1- and 2-story homes. Just a high-level overview. Whenever we're preparing a window cleaning quote, try to get this information in this priority order, because number 1 is going to be most accurate. Number 2 is of similar accuracy, but you're down to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. It's lesser certain, and that's going to affect how we're going to prepare the quote. Okay, but there's several different ways we can prepare a quote for window cleaning in an acceptably accurate manner with in this order of descending priority. Okay, so the first option for preparing a quote in any case, right, is first we need to clarify and ask if the person lives in a 55 plus active living retirement community. If their answer is yes, like, oh, they live in Sun City Lincoln Hills, or they live in Heritage Park, or Springfield at Whitney Oaks, or whatever their 55 plus active living retirement community is in the Sacramento area, there's a high likelihood, probably 90% chance, they know their home model. Okay, even if they don't know their home model, we can probably narrow it down according to their square footage to a couple of them, and that can help us ensure that the quote is as accurate as possible. Okay, because if they live in Sun City Lincoln Hills and they have a Tahoe home model, we know exactly how many window panes they have effectively. All right, so that's like the epitome of accuracy. We're preparing exactly for the Tahoe, and that has 28 window panes or whatever it might be. There's a minimum, there's a maximum, and we'll just average those two. All right, so that's choice number 1. If they do not live in a 55 plus active living retirement community, regardless if it's 1 or 2 stories, ask if they can possibly provide, text us a picture of the 4 sides of the structure, because then it's just like we're there, boots on the ground, in person. We can understand the scope of work perfectly accurately. The pressure's on us to count, and we'll be able to reply back with a perfectly accurate quote in that case. Okay, so if they don't live in a retirement community, then request always to, is it possible to send us a picture of the 4 sides of the house, because then we can provide your quote in a perfectly accurate manner, because it's just like we're there in person. We see all the 4 sides and can count everything. Okay, option number 3 onwards is a little less certain. Okay, but this is still the general order of priority. Look on Google Earth to try to count yourself. Okay, most homes you're gonna have some difficulty seeing, maybe like windows by the front door, or under the back patio, or on the sides of the house, like if they live with neighbors, right? It might be difficult to see certain windows. You can take an educated guess and be reasonably accurate, maybe within a couple window panes, and that to me is acceptable. Okay, so try to look. The point being, try to collect the information to get as accurate of a quote as possible. Number 4 is ask for the count of the number of window panes. Okay, this is a little uncertain because almost always someone is going to underreport the number of window panes. Okay, to me, you can get a level of confidence. It's a spectrum, right? You can be highly confident of their window pane count, or you can be not very confident in their window pane count. It's great if they thoroughly walk around and it sounds like it's highly likely that their count is accurate. You are talking on the phone with them for 2 minutes, you hear them walking around their house, counting all the window panes, they double check themselves. That person's probably counting really accurately, or maybe within a couple window panes. Maybe they miss a window, but it's not going to be significantly off. It is not good if they say, oh, I have 11 windows and 4 sliders. What's your quote? Because this happened literally the other day. This thing, I have 11 windows and 4 sliders. You might think that's 15 windows, and a normal window is going to have 2 window panes per window, 1 stationary side, 1 side that moves. So we can take an educated guess. I took an educated guess in this case because the person had told me, oh, I've got 11 windows and 4 sliders. I thought, okay, well, they probably have 30 window panes. But then they provided us the pictures. They did not have 4 sliders and 11 windows. They had far more than 30 window panes. They had 45 window panes. So this lady underreported her windows by like 7 or 8. So that's why we try to attempt to get a window pane count, not a number of windows count, okay? So we're getting lesser and less certain from here, okay? But if they cannot provide an accurate count, then we can try to do it based on the square footage if it's a one-story home. Because if it's a one-story home, we have a decent idea as to how many window panes might be in a certain square footage of a home, or a range of square feet. So like an 1,800 square foot home, I don't know if this is perfectly accurate, but there's going to be around 30 window panes, right? But an individual 1,800 square foot home might have 20, or it might have 40, right? All we're saying is the average is 30, or it comes to an average is the point, but we don't really know that independent house. So that's why we try to get the information described above, see if they live in a retirement community, try to get the home model, get a picture of the four sides of the structure if possible, look on Google Earth. Those are the most accurate mediums. Getting a count of their window panes is a good supplement, and you can try to get a count of their window panes too, to complement the other information you might be able to collect. But if this is one of the last resorts, if they live in a single-story home and we know their square footage, we can look on Realtor.com or Zillow.com. We can get a good idea as to the number of window panes. There's just obviously some margin of error, right? Because they might not have the average. They might have the extreme high end or the extreme low end, or somewhere in between, right? And the very last resort is very commonly someone will not live in a retirement community. They won't be able to provide us the pictures of the four sides of the house. Their house won't be visible on Google Earth. We can't see the four sides. They can't provide a number of count of the window panes. They live in a 2-story home, let's say, so we can't get the square footage. Then just send them an hourly rate quote for window cleaning. This is the last resort if the person does not provide us the information that's accurate otherwise. And why we want to do this is, bare minimum, send some quote to them, okay? I want them to be able to say yes. I do not want to be told no by someone that cannot say yes. And if we haven't provided them a quote yet, they cannot say yes. And it's pretty much implying a no, which sucks. Okay, so try to send them at least an hourly rate window cleaning quote as a last resort, to attempt for them to have the option to say yes, okay? So hopefully this video makes sense, just in the order of priority for collecting information for window cleaning quotes.